Hi guys, happy Monday. Feed those ancestors. So today I found a really neat article. It is thecauldron.org.uk, and it is all about the bloodline of Cain and Cain within traditional witchcraft. So getting really just getting deeper into the whole line of Cain and what it means. And so we have the green witch father, and that is Cain. So wow. So the agrarian aspect of Cain and his significance as patron of sorcery. This is by Daniel A. Shulk. Hopefully I said that right. If I didn't, I'm sorry, but this is so amazing. Right, so here's just a little bit of the introduction, and I love this. So I spent a lot of the morning really researching this. It's amazing. So, alright, the story of Cain and Abel is the most familiar to the common mind as belonging to the Old Testament of the Bible, but there is an ancient body of lore. Now, in many cases, contemporary with the Old Testament, in which the figure Cain appears with regularity. So, according to the Encyclopedia Judea, the story of Cain and Abel is obviously a very old story, of which only outlines have survived. So, these may be of Jewish provenance, such as rabbinical texts, Midrash, Haggadah, etc., the Tagrams or the Old Testament, so of early Christian origin, such as the collection of scriptures known as the Gnostic Gospels. So, additionally, a number of early Christian writers deriding various heresies within the church have, in doing so, provided us a valuable historical occult oculus. Oculus, I like that word. To glimpse the ways in which Cain was viewed by some groups at that time. So, and how he and the aspect of Tubal Cain came to be associated with Freemasonry and witchcraft. So, it gets deep. So, Cain and traditional British witchcraft. And this is the Tubal Cain. So, this is just really interesting. And the whole idea of the tattoo. I just love that tattoo idea. I really do. So, alright, now Cain in traditional British witchcraft. So, the figure of Cain appears in various guises in modern schools of traditional British craft. So, of which one is the clan of Tubal Cain. So, this is associated with the late Magister Robert Cochrane. So, his accessible work survives mostly in articles he wrote for Pentagram, the Journal of Witchcraft Research Association, and in various privately circulated letters. So the clan continues to work as an initiatic body of traditional craft. Now, Nigel Jackson writes, in the old rite of the craft, the first witch and sire of the witches was Cain, or Tubal Cain, together with his sister Nama Lilith, the mother of all witch blood, who transmitted the divine flame to mortal humans, as related in the legend of the Watchers. So, we've covered the Watchers and what they are yesterday, I think. Yeah, we did yesterday. That's just really interesting. Lilith and Cain. I always thought it was Lilith and Lucifer. I honestly did, but alright, but the legend of the Watchers, to which Jackson refers, is found in the Book of Enoch. So, in Old Testament, whose earliest surviving copy was penned about 200 BCE. The book treats the subject of fallen angels, the Watchers, who delivered the forbidden arts of magic to mankind. Cain also appears in the traditional lore of the cultist Sabbatai, another body of traditional craft now centered in Essex. So, Andrew Chumbley, the present magister of the cultistic rites, in Sabbatic lore, when the fire of the Ancient One dwelt in Adam, he became the father of initiates and the transmitter of the seed of the elder gods. So, through the lineage of Cain, but beareth of the fire, he is mere clay and father of the profane. So, Chumbley's detailed recension of traditional witch lore contains an invocation of Cain in the formula of a primal atavism as embodied in the races of man. it reads as follows. So this is really, really interesting. I love this. Yeah, I'm just really confused about the Lilith connection with Lilith and Lucifer now. So, well, Adam was, so yeah, literally. Alright, makes sense. Never mind. Now we have the invocation. So, O ye firstborn of which blood? O ye firstborn of mine own blood. So the firstborn child of the family. I'm an only child and the firstborn, so. Alright, so, who bearest the mark of the wise? O thou nomad and king of all the wandering lands, master of fire and the forge, unveiler and the shapeshifter of the blood and the stone, lord of all horsemen, O thou charmer of bones. I like that. I really like that. That just, makes you feel good. So traditionally the words Tubal Cain served as the password for the third-degree initiation of Master Mason into Scottish Rite Freemasonry. Jackson writes, the role of Tubal Cain in certain branches of traditional witchery in Britain is probably due to the adoption by the lodges of the male cunning men who assimilated his archetype with that of the horn god as the coal blacksmith. So indeed Robert Cochrane noted that, in certain old covens, a hammer and tongs were placed upon the altar in Tubal Cain's honor. So, interesting stuff. So now we have, so, where'd I go? Oh, Jackson, as that Tubalo was the blacksmith god of the Romanies. Ooh, I am, yeah, that's my descendant of the Romanies. So, who referred to themselves as the children of Cain. Wow, okay. So now I can actually trace my bloodline back. So that's pretty interesting. So this is really interesting too. It touches on my Jinn that I have and my patron daemon. So another strand linking Cain with traditional witchcraft is the horn god genius Asmodee, derived from the Hebrew demon Asmodeus, born of the incestuous union of Tubal Cain, the first blacksmith in the Bible, and his sister Nama, the first weaver. Ooh, now we're really getting... So, yeah, in their treatment of Asmodee, the bull of the golden horns, Jackson and Michael Howard state, the gypsy influence upon witchcraft provides a clue here to a peculiar nomenclature in certain strands of pre-Gardnerian witchcraft, which identified the bull-horned one as Asmodee during the ritual in transfigured time at the Saturnalia, which is what? What is Saturnalia? Christmas, or the winter solstice. So I love this. Where'd I go? This properly belongs to a body of secret lore that bridges ancestral witchery and the high gnosis of the angelic magia relating to the fallen angels. That is so interesting. I love it. So now we have Cain, the agrarian, green man, and the proto-sorcerer. So most sources of ancient material mentioning Cain are in the agreement that he was a farmer or a tiller of the soil. So this horticultural cunning is apparent from birth in at least one source, the Book of Adam and Eve, another Old Testament. Lower. And she bore a son, and he was shining. And at once the babe rose up and ran and bore a blade of grass in his hands, and gave it to his mother, and his name was Cain. Cain, as a patron of sorcery, may be glimpsed through his standing as a farmer, lord of green things. Now, Josephus writes, now the two brethren were pleased with the different courses in life, for Abel the younger was a lover of righteousness, and believing that God was present in all his actions, he excelled in virtue, and his employment was that of a shepherd. But Cain was not only very wicked in other aspects, but was wholly intent upon getting. He first contrived to plow the ground. So, wow, farmland, I live on farmland, so I'm really, I am seeing that connection with Cain, and I love it. So that red thread. So, wow. Okay, so this interpretation of Cain as Argarian implies two curious things. First, it is wholly consistent with traditions of him as a farmer and ward of plants. More interesting are the negative connotations associated with farming. So not only does Yahweh consider the act of stewarding plants a contrivance in comparison with sheep herding, it is also seen as an aberrant symptomology of a person's holy intent upon getting. Okay, that's ridiculous. That's why For the Jewish or the Christian moralist, these traits have not but profane implication: greed, manipulation, and avarice. For a magician or sorcerer, however, a mind, heart, and will wholly intent upon getting is essential, whether classified as thurgery or thaumaturgy, whatever that other word is. So, yeah, that's really ridiculous. The Christian God thinks that farming is is farming to the Christian God that terrible? A sin of some kind? That's stupid. Anyways, alright, so Andrew Chumbley defines magic thus: magic is the transmutability of the quintessence of all nature, and goes on to define sorcery as the knowledge of the points of universal transmutation. Its art is to cultivate the ability to manipulate and utilize these foci of power in accordance with will, desire, and belief. Now, in Chumley's view, one essential difference between magic and sorcery is that the former is a raw force, so an energy ever present, whereas the latter is the familiarity with, according to, and successful a creative use of this power. So will, the foundation of a person wholly intent upon getting, is expressed as one essential barb of the formulatic trident of sorcery. In regard to the importance of will in magic, recall Aleister Crowley's definition of magic as the science and art of causing change to occur in conformity with one's will. When we consider that the art of the farmer or plant steward was at one time surrounded by considerable reference in religious mystery, the rubric which encapsulates horticultural cunning and craft is not that different from that of sorcery. That is incredible. That is seriously incredible. I mean, why am I blurry? There, maybe I'm not so blurry now. No, I'm not that blurry now. Okay, so I love this. So in certain texts, Cain's knowledge of farming was taken to be an artifice forcing the ground or going against the laws of God or nature. However, the book of Adam and Eve bears the following passage in relation to the knowledge of farming, expressing a nearly opposite idea. So, and the Lord God sent divers seeds by Michael, the archangel, and gave to Adam, and showed him how to work and till the ground, that they might have fruit, by which they and their generations might live. This puts forward an idea common to many ancient religions, that the divine or supernatural origin of certain crops and the skills with which to grow and employ them, a theme to which we will return. So that's pretty interesting. I mean, it's really, really interesting. I love that. So, it is really, really interesting about how, I mean, just Cain, it's amazing. So, I mean, really, the soil, that totally makes sense in traditional witchcraft. I mean, 100%. It's just amazing. So, this isn't just, I mean, there's so much here. There is so much here, and we will definitely be coming back to this. So, I do like that. I think that's amazing. I love the whole thing of Cain. I love the whole bloodline of Cain. I think it's amazing, and I think it's really important for us to learn it. And really, we don't see much of it. Well, I mean, aside from traditional witchcraft. So, but yeah, what do you guys think? I thoroughly enjoy that, so I'll leave the link below for you guys to check this out. It's amazing, so you guys can kind of get a better feel for, if you don't know about Cain, or if you want to learn more about Cain and you know, the bloodline and the Romany gypsies. So, I mean, that made perfect sense to me. Perfect. So, but alright guys, I hope you all have a great day. I love you all very, very much. All my love, all the way from Venus, all the way back down. And I will see you all tomorrow. So, thank you guys for all your amazing comments. And I love you all very much. And everybody have a good day.